Okay, thank you, and hello. Thanks for having me. My first real professional encounter with artificial intelligence, apart from my lifelong love for science fiction, was in 2016. I was in a bit of depression, having worked in the advertising industry for almost 20 years. My business had always been digital, to say, and quite successful, but still repeating all the time, the same patterns. In spring, we sold cars, did heart animations for Valentine's Day and Mother's Day, and in summer, we sold barbecue stuff, and at Christmas, cell phones and rates. I was on a quest, you can say. There had to be more. And then I stumbled into the term singularity. And after reading Nick Bostrom's mega hit best-selling book, Superintelligence, I quickly knew nothing will ever be the same as before. Artificial intelligence is not just the next big thing, as Steve Jobs would say, it's a revolution that is triggering profound changes in our society. A computer model replacing, replicating the human brain. Infinitely scalable. Woo-ha. So if computers, according to singularity experts, one day will surpass human intelligence, will my children still have work? What about prosperity? Or will we slide into a total Black Mirror-like surveillance state? But the question that actually interested me most, aside from the ethic questions, was, can AI be creative? Will it develop consciousness? Will it have goals one day? And so, if so, what will that look like? Will AI create things that we cannot even imagine yet? Will it do unexpected things? So I was thinking, new technology, cool. We are good at that. We will have a look at this AI thing, implementing solutions in our customer projects. And then we are miles ahead of the competition. At that time, we had big corporate custom clients like T-Mobile, Mazda, IKEA, MediaMarkt, and many others. So, so much for my 2016 plan, world domination, at least in the advertising industry. How naive I was. Here comes an excerpt from our first AI experiment. Our idea was we feed a language model from Google with advertising text of the past centuries, and the machine writes the perfect slogans and marketing copy text. Sounds good, doesn't it? It was a total fail. Read the first line here. Passion is the only animal that has rubbed itself raw. Emancipation is the only place that is not in charge. Well, not a masterpiece and useless for advertising. Unfortunately, we had similar results with music production, really bad. But we didn't give up. And I realized at the time that this was the beginning of something very special. In 2022, I'm laughing at that, due to the progress of large language models are making. But let's stick to that later. And then I started to focus and we were playing around. AI in the creative industry was the topic, still way too big, but it offered a lot of room for experiments. And we quickly implemented projects for our large clients using open source scripts and cloud services by Google, Amazon, and Microsoft. We were playing around. So one of our first projects was a radio commercial generator. We did radio commercials for MediaMarkt and Saturn, spoken by synthetic voices, shortening the production times. We programmed a generator that could deliver radio commercials in seconds. You could select the language, a voice, male or female, marketing text, and finish your work. The entire radio commercial was mixed in the cloud, almost in real time. The concept was very simple. No human speakers, no recording studio needed. We automated the whole process, and everyone could produce a radio commercial now. Further, we produced a mobile ad for Mazda that used AI to read images of cars and design a matching new Mazda model. So let's take a quick look here. You take a picture of your old car, upload it, the AI analyzes it, color, shape, size, type, and finds the perfect Mazda model for you with funny answers related to the input. Of course, we knew not only pictures of cars were uploaded, so we also had the right answer for pictures with beer and other things. We also did digital billboards that respond to people in the environment and change the subject, like this one for the Autism Center in Lower Austria. It was placed on a railway station and changed its behavior depending on the number of people passing by. We wanted to draw attention to the behavior of autistic children who often overreact in stressful situations. I mean, that's AI for good, actually. Meanwhile, there are many software tools out there that make your work in the creative industry a lot easier. Adobe and others do a very good job here. I really like the neural filter in Photoshop. We heard it before, and I'm a big fan of the style transfer applications that show the power of AI in graphics. Style transfers are very useful for special effects in picture and video editing. So imagine you're a producer and you want to publish a comic magazine, manga, whatever, for the younger target groups, like the TikTok generation. In the past, you would have to draw every line by yourself in painstaking detail. Today, you could theoretically do that with photos and use AI to apply a style of your choice to the images and videos. Here you can see an example. In the meantime, even the characters and the storylines are developed by AI, like in Haydn. This is a Japanese comic. And to the right, you see a robot arm that draws the character invented by AI. So this is an AI-driven comic manga. That's cool. But the transfers work as well with videos. Here's an example. So you can draw a picture on a napkin of a beer, whatever. And then you take a video of your choice, and the style gun does the rest and transfers your work to the video. This would also be a great application for the use in museums, for example. Maybe you see it in some series in Netflix too. But it also works great on aging processes. As in this example we did here as part of an experiment. We wanted to see how realistic we could make aging and rejuvenation processes. I think this works very well. I mean, what for, could you ask? You save an enormous amount of time and money by using these tools. In 2020, we created sets for a theater play by the performance duo Yulalina in Syria. In each act of the play, AI appeared on stage in different guises. We created GAN images, aging processes, synthesized music. We created deepfakes and even made Arabic translations with AI to help the actresses learn the foreign language text. When we worked with the theater duo, we intensively studied GAN to make AI images and art. GAN has been invented by a young good fellow, you maybe know him, and it stands for Generative Adversarial Networks. We also studied different language models from GPT, from OpenAI, and we love Megatron of NVIDIA. And we were especially looking for the strange and surprising things that the machines produce. We were even looking for the mistakes they do. To wrap this up, we're still definitely looking for the creative ghost in the machine, as I said before. And sometimes we find this ghost and watch him at work. So Let's have a look. Here is a very recent out-of-home marketing campaign we did for the co-working space Talent Garden in Vienna. The advertising claims for this campaign are made by AI. So our idea was to feed different language models with the client briefing, website content, a social media sentiment analysis we did in advance, and let the AI have ideas. After that, a creative director with a lot of experience, of course, curates the output. And ta-da, it worked very well after a few tries. And the client was surprised by the output of the machine. Here you can see the results in German and English. Marketing texts written by AI. Yeah, in the last 2 years, the request for AI-generated text increased a lot. We produced AI poems, essays, answers for textbooks, museums, poetry slams, and similar events, especially on certain topics. Usually, the customer specifies the topic. So, for example, work and life balance. And our language models, we use different models, as I said, from Google, NVIDIA, and OpenAI, writes text. There have been and still are many discussions between intellectuals and technicians, of course, about this topic, creative AI. A lot of criticism, and they say a machine can never be creative as a human. They say a machine has to learn. They say a machine needs data, structured data. They say a lot of things. And my answer is always the same. And humans, they also learn, they grow. Humans are also fed with books, TV shows, social media, etc. And yeah, but the criticism, if the criticism is constructive, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, we even co-wrote an article including pictures for the Neue Zürcher Zeitung in 2022 with questions about creativity, which were also answered by AI language models. And these answers were exciting, stylistically, totally different, sometimes almost humanly touching. In any case, highly interesting. And in the course of this project, we also instructed the GAN, we heard that before, to draw itself. And this is the result. Dystopian, isn't it? This is the self-portrait of an AI. Of a GAN, exactly. The machine didn't just take a picture here, it took a series of pictures. In that sense, it has evolved. Yeah. And sorry for that image. Here are a few more works of ours using GAN. Some of them which we are already selling on as NFTs on platforms like OpenSea. And this is the answer of a GAN about the future of Bitcoin. It has drawn a golden bull. I wonder what that means. Well, you can cry now with me, crypto investors. Yeah, next one. This is how the GAN envisions dark matter. Nobody knows what dark matter looks like. The AI apparently does. And here is the answer of the machine to the question about the future of human species. The GAN draws living beings here, which cannot be really recognized as if they were from another world. And this picture refers to the Ukraine conflict. The AI draws blue and yellow smoke after a missile attack. And an angel, it seems. It's really crazy. Seems almost sakar, like a holy picture. And here are a few more. We did this here. I mean, for filmmakers, theater people, set designers, and photographers, a great source of inspiration, I think. These machines generate images are one of a kind. Yeah, currently we're working on many projects where we are wildly combining the output of the language model and the image models. Like in this very recent project for IBM Germany, a live show that was broadcasted from the Watson Center in Munich. And at this event, we contributed AI-generated graphics, videos, and music tracks. And these we wove into the event. Each expert topic was assigned the appropriate graphic, cloud data, cybersecurity, quantum computing, and so on, all generated by AI, exactly, GAN exactly. This is what it looked like in the Watson Center. Even the Watson Center itself interpreted by a GAN. And you see, even Spot from Boston Dynamics watched the event. Yeah, but GAN doesn't just draw abstract pictures. It has more economic benefits than you would think. Next example. Here is our current project for Außenwirtschaft Austria, WKO. It was a great cooperation between fashion designers from Austria and Rwanda. And our job was to introduce AI to the employees of the fashion industry by showing them the different technical possibilities they can use in their businesses. Among other things, and you can see it here, so you can see this here, that they have only have to do one photo shoot, and then the AI can take over. For example, the preparation of the pictures for worldwide markets, in which it changes model pictures and depicts different ethnicities. Yeah? On the left, you see the original, and on the right, you see the computer-generated GANs. Yeah. Briefly described, we generate human faces that do not exist in the real world, select the suitable ones with the client, and transfer these faces to the existing model images. It's uncomplicated and rights-free. Normally, this is not financially feasible for smaller companies with real models and photo shootings in terms of production costs. With AI, it is possible. So let's scroll through some GAN works for the industry we did. Here you can see the beautiful pictures, original left and the GAN on the right side. Yeah, they look so realistic. It's incredible. These are not humans. Of course, it works with cats too. This is my hangover cat I did. Yeah, and here you can see some fails. That's pretty interesting. Look at the eye. What happened to her eye? Is this art? I'm asking. Yeah. And last but not least, AI-composed music is currently also very popular. Why? It's rights-free, no stress when publishing, and our clients love that. Did you know that David Bowie used algorithms for his famous album Outside? Now you know. He invented a computer program called Verbasizer with a friend in San Francisco to use cut-up techniques for his lyrics. Cut-up is a technique designed to add the element of chance in the creative process. This guy was ahead of his time. Unfortunately, he died in 2016, but he would certainly try out this piece of software I'm gonna show you now, Jukebox of OpenAI. In April 2020, the team of OpenAI released a machine learning framework that generates music, including rudimentary songs as a raw audio in a range of genres and musical styles. And Jukebox was trained with 1.2 million songs and pieces of music from various musicians, composers, and bands. So imagine you are a pop star from, let's say, the 90s, and you had a worldwide hit in the charts, but it was a one-hit wonder, okay? And your producer demands a new hit from you. A bit, I know this sounds a bit abstract, but let's listen. So what you're going to hear now is the famous hit Take On Me from a-ha. The first 9 seconds, and then after 9 seconds, the AI Jukebox takes over. So let's listen. Yeah, still not perfect, but that's where the journey goes. I mean, this is cool. And this is just the beginning, 2020. Everybody can write hits now. It's not that easy, of course. As a human, you have to curate all these tracks, thousands of them. I did some work in this field and produced about 18,000 AI tracks till today. And about 99% of the songs are crap. You cannot use it. But let's listen now to a piece of music I chose when we trained with the old masters, Mozart, Haydn, Beethoven, and others. Let's listen to this song we did in 2021, I guess. Yeah, even the instruments sound real here. The whole piece is made with AI. I find that fascinating. We can also produce house music, hip-hop, jazz, and other genres. To wrap this up, the world needs fresh ideas, I think, and AI can have good ones, or at least inspire us and put us on the right track. And the future is bright. Maybe heard of Gato, the latest development of Google's DeepMind team. And this one is heading for artificial general intelligence. The pre-trained Gato model can do image captioning, engage in interactive dialogue, control a robot arm, among many other tasks. To make it short, I think one day AI can be creative. So let's get people excited about artificial intelligence, and above all, put it into simple words too. Yeah, let's make AI accessible to all citizens. And the best way to do that is probably to make projects that everybody understands, and then market them smartly. AI is not evil. Only the people who abuse it are evil. You know? And yes, I know it's a hard and rocky road to study AI, but don't be afraid. AI is one of the most important inventions of mankind. And yeah, this is the end. Thank you for your attention.